All right, we're back for the 2:45 draw, starting pretty close to 2:45 here at the Ross Tarlton. I was just busy explaining the system to the Donalda Curling Club, so we were a little delayed getting online, but we are online. This is Mark Zakin again, coming to you from the Nutmeg Curling Club. And just checking to see that we are on. Just trying to make sure we are streaming. Hold on.
Serving lunch. It is $10 a person. You get a plate from my young lady over here. It gives you all these good things to eat. So I don't know if somebody. I'm not saying if they didn't. This is part of my regular routine.
As long as there's some rum cake left, I'm in.
All right, so we are up and running on the 2:45 p.m. stream here at the Nutmeg Curling Club, the Ross Tarlton, where Canada is beating our American teams pretty badly overall, but the Nutmeg homeboys have thrown a tie and a win, winning 5-4 in the last draw. So it's been a good event for the Nutmeg Spielers, if not necessarily a great event for the American Spielers overall. Let's take a look at who's playing here at 2:45. So over on sheet A, we have the Potomac team, who made a great comeback at 8 o'clock this morning to win their game against North Halton. So Potomac is on sheet A against South Muskoka. South Muskoka beat Rochester earlier in the day, I believe, as I recall. Over on sheet B, we have the GNCC executive team, who just played earlier this morning and lost to Guelph B, as I recall, against Mississauga, which is a team I've not seen yet, Mississauga. They're on sheet B. And over on C, we have the Ardsley team. We saw them this morning play very well on the front end, but ultimately cave on the back end to Oshawa. And Ardsley is playing the North Halton team that lost on the last shot to Potomac. So we're expecting some very good curling again this afternoon. We'll give you the lineups in just a minute. When I come back, just going to take a quick break.
How young are you, Jerry?
Where's the curling club at?
Oh, wow. No.
In a couple of weeks.
That's not too
Get right behind a truck. Yeah, you can get right behind a truck there.
Is there?
Bob, you going to put on a headset and join me?
What do they
No. All right, I'm back. Apologies. Let's take a look at the scores, the houses, and then we'll go through the lineups. So right now, we have on sheet A, we have the Potomac team on sheet A. Sitting shot looks buried on the 8. We have on sheet B the looks like Mississauga might be biting. Probably not. Looks like they're going to try and run that in though. Oh no, run it away. Jay Flanders, who I played against at Cape Cod, really nice guy. He's going to try and run that red stone out for the GNCC executive team. And he looks to be on that. I don't know if he's going to get the inside roll. He's looking to try and get the inside roll, maybe too much. Caught the rock too thin and did not get the roll to stay. Maybe biting. Maybe biting. Looks like it is. It's in the back 12, not bad. And then over on sheet C, Ardsley is sitting 2. Sitting 3. You know, I got to say, earlier in the day, watched the Ardsley team. Their front end was in the house and counting all game long. And they've done it again. Ardsley sitting 3. They just need the back end. Oops, we had a bobble on the delivery here from North Halton. Looks like he's still going to hit something, though. That was a pretty bad bobble. Oh, they should have swept it because he might flash now. They should have swept that stone. I guess they couldn't get up to it. It was moving so hot. They swept that stone. That could have been a double there, but it's just moving too hot for guys of this age to keep up with and sweep. You don't want to fall, so probably the better part of valor was to let that one go. All right, so back to the lineups. Looking at the sheet A. On sheet A, lineup for Potomac is Bruce Black at skip, George Shirk at vice, Denny McLean, former pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, last pitcher to win 30 games in the major leagues in 1968, is at second. And the lead is Art Hauer. And then for South Muskoka, on sheet A, we have Brian Huff at skip, John Francis at vice, Earl Fagan at second, and Dave Forth at lead. On sheet B, for the GNCC executives at the Yellowstones, we have Peter Lyons at skip, Charlie Brown at vice, Jay Flanders at second, and the lead is Jack Dupree. And they're playing Mississauga, which is, I assume, is somewhere in Canada. This is a new team to me. Haven't heard of them. But Mississauga is skip Al Tadman, vice Dave Irwin, second Ivar Grimba, who was in the booth with me for a little while chatting, and Ken Morrison at lead. Ivar is the one who put up the note to me that I was doing a good job on the stream, so I'm going to be rooting for Mississauga and my new friend Ivar Grimba. And then the Ardsley team has at skip Jeff Broadhurst, Peter McEwen, vice Mike Infranco at second, and Heinz Gruder at lead, and Bill Langley is the fifth. So I don't know which of those guys is playing. And then for North Halton on sheet C, we have skip Steve Jones, vice Jim Lusby, second Steve Graham, and lead Scott Gardner. So those are the lineups. Let's look in on the action in the early going in the first end of this event, this game. On sheet A, we got a hit coming in. Oh, that's a nice hit, but he missed the double. And so the yellow team, which is Potomac, is sitting 2. On sheet B, the Mississauga team is sitting shot and maybe 2 with the stone on the back 12. And on sheet C, Ardsley sitting 3 and very well buried. Ardsley skip now. This is really a do no harm situation. If he can just put one biting in the top 12 to the wing, he would be sitting 4. So a real opportunity for Ardsley to get out early in this game. And this is Jeff Broadhurst, who struggled earlier in the game earlier today, so I'm sure he would like to get off to a better start in this game. All right, good weight. I think it could be a little slow out there because it's a fresh pebble and it's pretty wide. So they're sweeping it. I think it's going to be a good stone, though. Need to stay on this the whole way. And that is a really nice. Oh, you should have stayed on the whole way, boys. You would have gotten to the 12. Oh, that was not good sweeping. Needed to stay on that a little longer, but it's a great guard. And Ardsley is sitting 3, very well guarded. Over on sheet A, we have 2 stones in the house for Potomac. So the American yellow stone's off to a very good start here. Potomac looking to draw in, and that stone is hogged. And it happens sometimes in the early going here at Nutmeg. The first end, the ice tends to be very slow, and it speeds up dramatically. And then over on sheet B, it looks like there's 2 Mississauga stones in the house, and the skip for the executives is going to try and draw one in behind that red stone in the top 12. So sweepers are on this stone, this Mississauga stone, sorry, not Mississauga stone, the executive stone on sheet B, and it is going to crash. There's a lot of yellow that could be moved, but it's got to be hit with a lot of authority and not enough juice to move anything meaningfully. On sheet C, they're trying to go through this port, but that's going to crash. It does open it up for the remaining stone, so I think Ardsley's going to want to put up a guard. Ardsley sitting 4, that yellow just now got pushed in, so Ardsley sitting 4 needs to have a guard on the 4-foot line, on the TV line, would be perfect. It's going to have to throw this out a bit, probably middle of the 12, put the broom middle of the 12, and that's where the broom is, and then have it curl back to the 4-foot line. Over on sheet A, Potomac sitting 2, looking to draw a 3rd one in or a guard. That's a guard. Nice spot for that guard. Potomac sitting 2. Ardsley sitting 4. Americans off to a decent start here. Mississauga sitting 2 on sheet B as we're coming down to skip stones in the first end. So all 3 players are about to throw at the same time. Ardsley skips throw is away first. The skip on A is off next. The Ardsley team is sweeping this stone, trying to keep it from over curling. It's over the hog line. They need to just get over and up. Just over and up, boys. Get off of that stone. They're off it now, maybe over curling. All right, it's decent guard, not perfect, decent guard. There's a hit possibility. Over on A, they're moving the stones. I think Potomac started off by taking 2 on that sheet. And over on B, we have Mississauga looking to run up a 3rd stone. Mississauga is going to try and... I'm sorry, it's not Mississauga's shot. It's... all right, this looks to be the GNCC executive team skip. It appears to me is going to try to run the red just off the center line back into his yellow and run that back to the button. And that is an exceptionally difficult shot. And if he's wide, he could run the Mississauga red in and let them sit 3. So this is a very tricky shot for Peter Lyons. And the weight is pretty good and the line is decent. I don't think he's going to run the Mississauga rock in. He's got to hit this red rock dead flush to send it straight back. And it's curling in, but hard to see. No, didn't run it dead straight. Not enough weight and didn't hit it flush. And Ardsley, it looks like it did take the 4. So Potomac scores 2 on A to take a 2-0 lead. Ardsley takes 4 to take a 4-0 lead. And the Americans are up 6 rocks to nothing, which I haven't seen all day at the moment. Mississauga is still sitting 2, though, with an open draw to sit 3 to take a lead on sheet B.
The problem is, we've got 28 sheets of ice in 20 minutes. We're not halfway in the
So we will stick here with this sheet B look, and then we will switch back to the warm room view after this last stone on sheet B, which is coming in. Sweepers are on it. This has a real chance to, it's a little hot, but I think on that line it may grab and count. Skip for the executives trying to sweep it back and out. Looks like I couldn't see if it did or didn't. So it's either 2 or 3 from Mississauga. I could not see the whether the skip for the executives were able to sweep that back and out. Looked like it was going to be close to me. So we'll know when they put up the score. But as you can see, it's we'll switch the view now to the warm room view. There it is. So I got to be honest, I think it's time for a scotch for yours truly, and I will be back in a moment. All right, I'm back. I have an order of Glenlivet 12 with 1 ice cube on the way. 1 small ice cube. Those who have curled with me at Nutmeg know that's my drink of choice. So that's on order and coming over. And we are back in action in the second end of the 2:45 draw. And we've got a big audience of 2, so thank you to the 2 listeners. This is a point spiel, which I have found during the course of the day has prompted certain unusual choices by skips to throw certain shots that They might not select if we were just talking about the game instead of the number of rocks scored. For example, I had some questions about some shots that Joel had thrown earlier in the last draw and asked him about it during the break. And thank you, darling. And Joel was explaining to me that some of his calls were prompted by the desire to score more points. So it is unusual. I saw some throws at the end of a few games earlier today where skips were choosing to cut down the other side in the last end rather than try and make a miraculous shot to win. And that's all based on, the point spiel. So have to say, having watched it, I'm not a huge fan of the point spiel concept, but I guess there's a reason for it. I guess I'll have to find out what the reason is, why it's done that way. But also, one of the disadvantages to the point spiel is I've seen some real blowouts today that people did not shake when they ordinarily might have. So some teams did have to suffer huge blowouts because it's a point spiel and shaking is problematic. But anyway, back to the action. Not shocked to see on sheet A that Potomac has 3 stones in the house. Potomac played very well earlier when they came back to win that game. And they've got 3 in the top of the house. And South Muskoka is looking to clear some of those stones. On sheet B, Misagawa still again has 2 stones in. That one on the top 12 is biting. And Misagawa did manage to score 3 in that first end when I couldn't tell if that stone was swept out or not. I guess it stopped in the house. So 3 very big ends in the first end on all 3 sheets. A 4 for Ardsley, a 3 for Misagawa, a 2 for Potomac. Misagawa now coming in with another draw. Got to get past this guard. Oh, not Misagawa. I'm sorry, the executive team. Executive team trying to bury this draw, trying to directionally sweep it. It looks like it's out a bit, though. I think that can be hit. Yep, looking at the screen, it looks like it can be hit. Excuse me while I begin to enjoy my first Glenlivet, one small ice cube of the day. That is so good. So good. All right, so back to the action. We have the Misagawa team trying to throw a lightweight tap. Skip's hand is up. It's out. They're trying to wish it over, but it won't come over. So that's a flash. And the executive will now try to put a guard up in the 3-guard zone. Not taking a lot of broom. I guess he's not expecting very much curl, but really not much broom at all. That looks to be a mistake. Because he could crash on his own guard, which I don't think he wants to do. I would take more broom than that. Well, we'll see. I'm not out there, and he is. My experience in Nutmeg, that is not enough broom for this shot. Stone coming down. I think it was wide, but maybe it was on the broom, and I'm just saying that to make myself feel better, but it has to be wide. It's still even outside the rock. It's outside where the broom was. So he taps the yellow. Maybe that was the call. Maybe he wasn't looking for a guard. Maybe he was looking to tap that one into the button, but he did. And if that was the call, that was a great shot. I thought the call was a guard, though. There's a bit of a mistake there on sheet C by Ardsley to run that North Halton stone in a little bit, but I don't think the North Halton stone is shot. And then over on A, Potomac's got a truckload of stones in on A. Maybe just 2. Looking to put in a 3rd one. This looks like a nice shot for Potomac, unless it's crashing on that guard, is it? Or trying to go to the other side? Oh, goodness. He threw it narrow. It curled. I think he was trying to go around the guard. Instead, he went inside the guard and then passed the red stone in the top 12 and nestled in the top 8. So that's a great miss. And Potomac sitting three stones in the top 8. It's a great position. Who? No.
Oh, who's going with us? Me?
Glatzel, Hannaberry.
Oh, okay, because I'm growing cocktails and she's working it. I can have her host it. Okay, so you're going to be home, so we can leave at 5:30 for our 6?
Yeah.
And Sharon won't serve a drink with one ice cube. She said I won't serve a strong drink like that. I'm going to bring this up at the board meeting.
Shoot.
So I put 2 ice cubes in it.
No. You ask for a glass with ice then and let her pour it without any ice, and then I'll put my 1 ice cube in it.
Yeah, well, don't have more than this because we're going to have to.
All right. All right, sorry for the interruption. And we are back on sheet B. There is a run back on that yellow. And Mississauga still sitting 3 on sheet B. Ardsley going to try and maybe run back his stone or draw in his stone. I think it looks like a run back, and they need to be on it if it's a run back. That's light. Gotta go, boys. You really got to get on that if that's supposed to run back anything. I don't think it's going to be enough. Nope. All right, North Halton sitting shot, looks to me at the moment, and probably looking to. I'm not even sure what this. He's probably going to look to run back the center guard. Back to the button. Oh, we got a flash here on B by the executive team. And over on A, Potomac was sitting 3, and somehow South Muskoka got one in there while I wasn't watching, and Potomac's going to try and hit it. So Graham Baldwin has come into the booth here. So Potomac looking to try and drive this red back. They're past the guard. It's got a real chance. Oh, they just kind of field goaled it. So he pushed the red back, and the red is still shot. So I'm sure that's disappointing for Potomac.
One, two, three, four.
Mississauga trying to draw one in or throw a guard. I don't know what they were trying to do, but they hogged. And so that leaves an open draw for the executives. They have an open draw with the, not the shot rock though, it's the first skip rock for Peter Lyon, I believe. Peter Lyons with an open draw. I'm sure he'd like to bury here, top 4. Over on sheet A, the South Muskoka team threw, but they did manage to take one, and it was looking really desperate for them at one point. Potomac had 3 stones in the top 8. I'm sure Potomac is disappointed they did not steal there. South Muskoka taking 1, and it is now Potomac 2, South Muskoka 1 after 2. Very nice shot by Peter Lyons. This is going to very nice. This is a really good throw. It is T-line, mostly buried. And the skip for Mississauga is going to try and chip that out. So this is Al Tadman. Al Tadman, big shot here. This is a real skip shot to chip this out. He could sit 3 if he can chip this out. Maybe even sit 4, but he's going to have to come with some weight because you can't see a lot of that yellow stone. And there's a real jam potential on the back. Real jam potential on the back here.
Yeah. So is it an event? You either play AB, okay. Right. Yeah, that's great.
Al Tadman, stick curler, has let it go. He's not happy with it. He thinks he's wide. Sweepers are not on it. He is very wide. Jams on his stone on the back, but it's still 1 for the executives, and Peter Lyons can just throw the same shot he just threw. Hardest thing to do in curling, throw the same shot you just threw. But if he can throw exactly the same shot, he'll take 2 and be right back in this game. Over on sheet A, it looks like South Muskoka has taken, over on sheet C, it looks like they're moving the rocks, and North Halton has taken 1. So I think it's 4-1 Ardsley after 2 on sheet C. We will stay on this angle to see how Peter Lyons does for the executive team. They're sweeping it pretty hard. It's got to go, and it's got to get past that guard, and I think he's light. So like I said, very difficult to throw the same shot twice, and he didn't. But he did take 1, and it's 3-1 Mississauga after 2, and we will now switch the views.
No, I wish we had one. Yeah, so I have one that wants to live in the Boston area. Let us know.
That's good.
Come on down. But the thing that we did this year, or last year, which was very good.
All right, action underway in the third end. Over on sheet A, we have a Potomac stone, pretty well buried in the top 8, buried by a South Muskoka rock, and South Muskoka looks like they're going to try and chip out that shot, or maybe run their own back. South Muskoka with the hammer, so having their own guards up there protecting the other team's shot is not very good. Oh, beautiful stone. Beauty. That's a fantastic shot on sheet A. To take out the Potomac stone, sit partly buried behind their own guard, and Potomac's going to try and throw it right back.
I'm not quite sure which one you don't want to hit the ice with. Yeah, you're on the rock.
A lot of weight from Potomac. Really big stone here, a lot of weight. And they are not trying to sweep it, and that is probably not coming back. So it's either online or it's through. And it caught enough of it, had enough weight that if it hit any of it, it was going out, and it did. So that stone's gone. Over on sheet C here, we see Ardsley with one in the house counting, and without hammer, with hammer, Ardsley is going to split the house. So Ardsley looking to put another one in. This one, sweepers are not on it. I think they should be, and they're on it now. They're off it. It's going to be close. They need to get back on it, I think, and they are. Very nice job of sweeping, though, on and off the whole way, and they did get it there to the top 12, maybe even top 8. Nice shot. Well swept, well played, and North Halton's just going to try and hit it. Hit and roll is the call. North Halton coming down the center line. Line is good. He's definitely got the hit. I don't know if he's got the roll. They're trying to sweep it to keep it to get the roll, but I think he's dead on. So that's a nose hit. Over on B, we have the Mississauga team. They are throwing exceptionally well. And almost drew in, but he wicked and got to the top 12, so it's still a good result. The executives are going to throw some weight at this and try and hit it. Maybe get to the inside of it and roll behind those guards. That would be good play. Over on C, we're going to get a draw here from the Ardsley team, looking to draw behind the stone that was just thrown on the hit. And over on A, we have the South Muskoka team trying to get rid of that yellow guard in the front, or maybe draw through that. Maybe it's a draw through the port. Looks a little heavy for a draw through the port. I don't know if that's going to stay unless he gets the wick. Doesn't get the wick, and I don't think he's going to stay. Skip on Potomac, sweeping that out the back, and that's out the back. Now we have on sheet C, we have the North Halton team trying to hit some of these Ardley stones that are on the right side. He's going to hit his own, so this is going to be a miss. It replaces his with another one of his, and that accomplishes not very much. Ardsley's going to try and draw behind that North Halton stone on the 4-foot line and draw to the 4. This shot is underway on sheet C. Sweepers are off it. Looks a little hot. Needs to curl quite a bit. They're going to sweep it now, but I don't know how this buries. It's coming now, but I don't think it's going to bury. Looks like it's exposed in the top 4. Very exposed in the top 4. Nice shot, but weight was good. Either the line was bad or who knows, but it didn't curl.
So far, going into it,
So it's an open hit on sheet C for the North Halton team. He's come out a little wide, drifted a little wide, threw it a little wide. I don't think this is coming back. This looks to me to be a flash. They're sweeping it. Maybe they're hoping to hit the one on the right, and they are going to hit the one on the right. And just squirt across the one in the 4, but he's got a puzzled look on himself, but basically he pushed himself way right on the delivery, and that throw never had a shot. So over here on sheet C, Ardsley has an opportunity to just guard that stone on the button. I think that's the right play. He's looking to put it in the top 12. I don't think he needs to be that deep. Not taking a lot of broom. It's looking for about 2.5 feet of curl. We'll see. On B, Mississauga looking to draw in. That slide looked a little hot to me. This throw looks a little hot to me. Sweepers are off. It's starting to sail, and I think that may be completely through. They're sweeping it back, but it stayed on the back 12, back 8. But that can easily be followed down. That would obviously be the shot. On sheet C, I guess they hogged that attempt at a guard. I didn't see it. But it's wide open again for a hit. And still sliding a little bit out, but not as much out. Still threw it out. It's coming back, though. This one he might make. And, yeah, he's going to hit it. He does hit it. Has a tendency to drift wide right on the throw, and that's causing him to pitch it out a little bit on the right side, but he managed to make that one. So over on B, the executives are sitting shot on the button, and the Mississauga team is going to try and chip that out. So the executives threw a nice draw. I didn't see it, but obviously threw a nice draw to the button. Mississauga are going to try and hit this. Sweepers are off. It looks a little out, and this may be a flash, and it is. That's a flash, and executive has a chance to guard it up on the top 12. Over on AA, which is harder to follow, we have looks like Potomac in the 8, and it looks like South Muskoka is going to try and hit that and roll behind. Big weight coming at this one. How are you?
How's the game
You
going?
were as good as you said you were going to be. That shot for 4, that was one of the best shots. Jerry Gettings from the Oshawa A team has come back to chat with me. That was one of the best shots of the day, Jerry. Very nice.
I was very fortunate to make that shot.
You were.
Yeah.
There was not much margin for error on that shot.
No, there wasn't.
It was not. He threw a great shot before you, and you threw a better one on top of it.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That was a game-changing moment right there.
Well, when he put his broom down and chose the ice, I thought, there's no way he's getting by that front one. He's
Yep.
going to double them out.
Yep.
And but then when I saw the rock run the way it did,
It ran pretty straight.
It did.
And you put it in the same spot.
Yes.
It was a very nice shot.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. I was very happy for you. You can go back and watch it on YouTube.
I'm interested in that. Yes.
Yeah,
So, what is the link for that?
So you go to YouTube,
Right.
and you go to Nutmeg Curling,
Oh. Okay.
and it will pop up all of our archived videos. And then you just have to look for Ross Tarlton Friday,
Okay.
November 9th, at whatever time you played. So
Okay.
you played at 12:30.
12:30.
So just find the 12:30 draw. You could find it right now,
Okay.
and the whole game should be there. And
Very good.
you know, we change the camera angles and we do the commentary. You can put on a headset and commentate if you like. Would you like to? You can join me.
Well, sure I could. Yeah. For a few minutes.
Let me set you up.
Yeah.
Got to figure out how to turn it on.
Or they, can we review them later on?
Yes.
Purely live stream?
Yes. No, we can.
We're good.
On
You live to
YouTube.
the horror. No, I like to review afterwards.
Right, for sure.
We're all waiting. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so you're on. So this is Jerry Giddings from the Ashikawa Curling Club, Grand Curling Club, I think.
Right, it's the Oshawa Curling Club.
Oshawa Curling
Oshawa.
Club. All right, so
And,
if we go to
The
here,
Oshawa Club is just east of Toronto. We have an 8-sheet club.
nice.
We're fortunate this year to have 2 teams here.
Yeah, and they're both
So-
playing well.
So far, so good. Yes.
So, Jerry, you feel free to announce whatever you see out there.
Okay.
We have on sheet A, the Potomac Curling Club is playing a team from South Muskoka. You probably know where that is.
Yes. South Muskoka.
And then on sheet B, we have the GNCC executive team against Mississauga.
Mississauga.
And over here, we have the Ardsley Curling Club against North Halton on
Against
sheet
North
C
Halton.
in front of us.
And
And as soon as the Potomac game on sheet A has gone to a fourth end with Potomac up 3-1, but we're going to stay on the camera angle we have right now, where the executive team on sheet B is sitting shot, and I don't see any way that Mississauga can get in there. Maybe he's trying to double him out with a run back on the yellow. I don't know. Maybe he's going to try and get down and corner to it. I'm not sure. It looks like he's trying to run back double. On that weight, I think I don't see it.
lots of
Really
weight,
difficult.
but I think it's actually over curling a little bit on him.
Yeah, really difficult shot. You're right, over curled.
Over curled.
Yep. And then over here on C, I see 4 stones for North Halton in the rings, and Ardsley with a skip rock. So this is a big shot for the Ardsley
So
skip,
the
Jeff
Ardsley skip
Broadhurst.
is Jeff.
Jeff
Yes,
Broadhurst, yep.
Broadhurst.
And he's going to have to hit and stick on that stone in the center to take one. That's a lot of ice.
We had the pleasure last night of playing Jeff
Oh, did you?
at the Ardsley Club,
Oh,
and of course that's his home ice. So he had the reading of the ice very quickly, and we had to learn that.
yep.
We had a close game, but eventually we did crack a 3 on him, and that was the difference in the game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a big pressure shot here. If he comes with too much weight on that broom, he's going to miss this. That's a lot of broom.
It is a lot. Oh,
It's a little narrow,
okay.
which is
he
good.
was narrow. That's going to help him.
Yep, and they need to sweep that. Oh, I like this. They stay on it. This is going to be good. Gotta go, boys. Yeah, it looks perfect. All right, very nice shot by Jeff Broadhurst. Big shot right there to
Got
to
the weight
take
bumped
one
it out.
against 4. And that will be Ardsley 5. There was missing some scores on that scoreboard. Somebody needs to put up some numbers. All right, let's switch the views. So the way we do that is we go here, and this is the view of what we are streaming. This is, if we want to switch from this to this, you go to this button right here, Quick Play, and it switches this screen to that. Whatever's here goes to there.
Okay.
This screen is the current, what is streaming on the internet.
Right.
And then we could pick any of these screens down here if we want to see, for example, a camera over a house. Like, let's go to the far B, for example. We could take a look at the far B, and you can see that right now the executive team has 2, and Mississauga is going to throw at those 2 right now and see if they can double them out, which if they make that hit and stay, could take 3. So we'll see.
Right.
It looks like he's a little wide, and he's going to flash. And he does.
Little
So
heavy.
that's 2 for executive team, and that's now 3-3. So then we go back to the near houses, and we will. Whoops. So now we're back with the near houses. We're in the fourth end here with them throwing back toward the warm room. Over on A, we have South Musakawa, sitting shot, top button, and the ends are just underway for the
One
other two
coming in.
teams. Jerry, where are you staying?
One came in on the Muskoka shot, but they blew it by. So Muskoka is sitting one.
Are you staying here in Connecticut or down by Ardsley, or what are you doing?
We're
with
in Stamford.
Oh, we're in Stamford.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereabout are you staying in
At
Stamford?
the Marriott.
Oh, it's right across
Yeah.
the street from my office.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, my barber's in that hotel.
Okay. I did see the barber shop last
On
night.
the second floor.
Yeah.
Go in and say hello to
It
John.
is.
That's my barber.
Okay. So are you doing this just out of your personal interest, or are you doing it for GNCC, or?
So I'm a member of the Nutmeg Curling Club.
Yes. Okay.
We got this equipment. I think we've had it in one form or another for a year or two now, but last year was the first year we really had it all set up, and we all started playing around with it. And then so there's a list of people here. If you look here, there is a list of what they call approved broadcasters.
Okay.
These are
Yeah.
people who have been trained on the system. We have a certain set of like do's and don'ts rules, so you kind of have to know what those are, and you have to know
Sure.
how the system works. And we live stream all of our games, our regular league. So we have leagues Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Okay.
and
Wow.
we live stream them all. There is a setting where we can overlay the 3 rings on from the near houses on top of the far rings, so that you can see all 6 houses in one setting.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then you just run it, and you don't need any commentating, and you don't need anybody to switch any of the angles.
Okay.
And you can just stream. You can just see it without anybody running it. So when we first got it last year, everybody was all excited to play with it. And now, sometimes people will sit down and broadcast.
Right.
But if it's just a league game, it might not be. There might not be anybody broadcasting it because you want to
Okay.
broom stack and hang
Sure.
out and drink and chat. But for something like this, for a spiel, we wanted to publicize the event, the Ross Tarlton, and our club, and
So on YouTube, any of these videos would be there.
yeah.
Pick
So
pick the date.
yeah, so like for example, just showing you on my phone here, if we go to go to YouTube, go to Nutmeg Curling, and then you'll see that this is the Friday draw live right now.
Right.
So these are past streams. So you'll see the Friday 12:30, the Friday 10:15, the Friday 8 a.m., Thursday yesterday. So you played at 12:30. So if I clicked on the 12:30 game and went to here, you would see, somewhere here is your game,
Okay.
right? So I don't know which sheet you were on, or
Right.
you were on C, I think.
Yes, we were.
So here's
Yeah,
C.
yeah.
So, so somewhere
Right.
your team you're in there somewhere.
Somewhere in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Mhm.
So you could go back and you could watch it and, and listen to me and my dulcet tones
Right.
and, whatever, people do go back and watch, their games and shots
Sure.
and things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, I know when we were at Broomstones 2 years ago, they had a video on their,
mhm.
but they had the camera. The cameras were out on the ice,
Yep.
and there was no commentary. It was
well,
just
Broomstones
a
does.
video.
So Broomstones does have the capability to commentate, because I've been at spiels at Broomstones where they
Okay.
do comment, but usually the Broomstones feed is unusual because they just really focus in on one sheet. So whatever
Yes,
is the
exactly.
the
Yeah.
the featured game
Right.
is the one they watch, and they're not showing all 4 sheets like we are.
No, they're not. No.
So it's a little different.
Yes.
We have really probably the state of the art technology. We were behind a lot of clubs in our streaming, but we have the state of the art now.
So
Do you
is this
stream
a-
at your club?
Is this a program that you had to purchase?
Okay, so now you are beyond my
Okay.
knowledge.
Okay.
I believe there was somebody who donated the money to the club to put this all together, and it was
Yes.
pretty expensive. But where the software comes from,
Okay.
there would have to be somebody else from our group
Right.
who could tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have streaming at your club?
No, we don't. We haven't used it at all.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. It's a nice feature.
It is. Yeah.
But, if you go here, this will tell you how many people are currently watching live. So 2 people are watching us live, listening to you and me. Bullshit. Now, how many will watch it, on archive? I
On
don't know.
archive, right? Yes.
But you could, like, if you want to tell your family that they could watch your game,
Yes. Yes.
you could, text them or call them and say,
Yes.
listen, I'm next playing, I don't know if you're playing again today.
We're playing Plainfield. Where are we?
Here? Yeah, so you're
Yes,
on the next
5
show at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5
so
o'clock.
you could phone your friends or family or whatever and tell them to go to YouTube,
Right.
and they could watch your game as if they were that interested in watching your game.
Right. Good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very interesting. Well, I should go and get myself changed and get ready for my game.
Jerry, congratulations on
Thank-
your game.
you
Enjoyed
very
chatting
much.
with you. Thanks
Thank
for coming
you.
down to Nutmeg. Enjoy your time in Stanford.
For sure.
All right.
Yes. Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
no problem. Thanks.
Great.
All right, sorry to bore the 2 of you who are listening with my chat with Jerry, but we're back in action here, and it looks like on sheet B that the executives are sitting 1-2, and Ms. Sasagua is going to have to try and take a run at these 2 stones. So broom is tight to the rock. We're going to throw some weight at this. The sweepers are off. It looks a little wide to me, and I think he pitched this out. So I think it's down weight, so he might get to the nose of it. Yep, nice shot. It was down weight, but I don't think he's counting, and I think it's still 2 executive. So I don't know that I like this call. I think I'd just throw the guard here. He's going to try and come in and corner to that red, but if he's heavy and wide, he could just push this red into the button. So kind of a risky call here on sheet B. I'd prefer to just put the guard up there. But maybe he has some confidence in his teammate to make this shot. It's a very tricky shot. Sweepers are on it. And it's going to be the guard that I would have preferred in the first place. So that's fine. Maybe he was a little afraid to even throw the shot that was called. But he did get the guard. I think that's the better play. That was the professional miss, as they say. The pro miss. But Mississauga has the other side to come in. There's a draw to the other side, and he's going to play on the other side. Over on A, the Potomac South Muskoka game has gone to the 5th end. They didn't post a score yet for what happened in the 4th, and I didn't see any of it, so couldn't help you there. Mississauga is drawing in here on sheet B, and they're sweeping it. I like the weight. If he's by the guard, this is a really good throw. And he is by the guard. Really nice throw. Yep. So that is now the shot rock, and executive will need to follow that down, as they say.
The phone and the drink go together. Yeah.
So over on sheet C, we have a draw coming in by the North Halton team. Where is it? Oh, no, it's a hit and a roll. He's going to be close here. Oh! Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We have a man down, and he fell on his elbow. The gentleman from North Halton being helped up now. That's the third fall I've seen today. It looks to be okay. He's not coming off the ice. He looks to be okay. They're trying to figure out what to do with the rock, but I don't think the rock was touched at all. The yellow rock was touched at all. The gentleman from North Halton is going to go into the warm room. That looked like a bad fall to me. You thought he didn't hit his head? No, but he hit his elbow. He hit his elbow, and he's going to come in and take a break. So he wants to get something out of his bag. Maybe he's got some narcotics in there. A little OxyContin.
That'll be the second fall.
So over here on sheet B, where they're taking an incredibly long period of time to play this end. It looks like Mississauga is going to try and throw another one in.
Make sure you're home by 5:30. Okay.
Yep. All right, Ardsley trying to draw this one in, a little heavy, a little wide, may run their own back in. Bump, bump, sweep it. Yep. All right, not terrible. Not terrible at all. That puts two in. And North Halton still playing without one of their players who took a bad fall. Mississauga trying to throw one in, and they got to go on this. Got to go, boys. Never off. Never off. Never off. Nobody's listening to me in the warm room. So that came up short. And the executive team's going to have to throw one in here. Peter Lyons has a chance to get to those stones on the button. Comes with enough weight. He could take three here. I don't know if the three is there. Could get two, though. Could definitely get two. North Halton finally going after that stone again where the gentleman fell, and they get that one out, but they don't stay. Potomac has taken a 5-1 lead on sheet A, and is now sitting 1. We'll go to that as soon as this interminable end here on sheet B finally ends. And Peter Lyons is through the port. He's happy with the shot. And I think he's going to take 2 with that shot. Really nice one. Threw his arms up in the air. Not exactly curling protocol, but he was happy with it. And I think that's a shot for 2. Oh, there's still a stone to throw by Mississauga. Not sure what Mississauga does here. Not sure they can do anything.
Damn afro. You have a 2-hair afro. I don't know what you do.
All right, Mississauga skip shot on the way here in this endless fourth end. And he's wide, and I think he's going to knock one of the executive team shots in, but no damage. So that looks to be, to me, 2 yellow. They're going to take a look at it, but from here that looks to be 2 yellow. Any dispute about this? They're still looking at it. We can go to the overhead here. And they're looking at it pretty closely. I still think it's 2 yellow. Yep. And it is 2 yellow. So we are halfway through this 2:45 draw. This will be my last call of the day. I've been here since 8 o'clock this morning. I've lost count of how many draws I've called. So let's see, 8. And this is my 4th draw of the day and last. So as you can see, we don't have a close-up on the far A, but we do see a Potomac stone in the rings at the top 4. And the South Muskoka team is going to go after it. Big backswing delivery and major weight coming at this stone. And it just gets it, knocks it out of the rings, and trails off to the 12. So that was a nice shot. South Muskoka down 5-1 to Potomac in the 5th end. Over here on sheet C, Ardsley sitting 1, going after the other North Halton stone, and he's made a nice hit on that one. And so Ardsley now sitting 2, and I have to say the front end of this Ardsley team has been spectacular all day long in both games. They don't miss many shots, and Ardsley has been in command of almost every end after the front end all day long. Hello. How are you, Corrine? So Rick Sheridan's wife, Corrine, has just come in the house. You want to pick up a microphone, Corrine? Want to put on a headset? Are you sure?
So I just sat in there.
We're doing a fine job, Mark.
So have you haven't listened to me at all. So Craig Steffen is back, and it looks like he's going to put on a headset.
Second half of this to end.
Somebody's going to have to do the 5 o'clock game because I'm out of here at 5.
Oh, we may just have to just start it. Let it go with it.
All right.
I gotta go too.
Okay. I've been at this since 8 in the morning.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
It's been fun. You guys had a nice game again today.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. We had a chance when we went up 4-0.
Yeah, you
we
did.
just kept nibbling 1 point.
Yeah.
And then they started making shots, and we had a couple what I call moments.
Yep.
You saw the shot right through the port to take our own 2 stones out.
Yeah, I called that as a possibility, by the way.
Well, okay. I mean, but it wasn't a real high possibility.
No, I called it actually as a run back.
Yeah.
That you were going to run back and take your 2 stones out. And so you missed the run back and just took the 2 stones out anyway.
There was less than probably an inch on each side of that
Yeah,
stone.
it didn't seem very likely, but it did happen.
It was a low probability.
If you go back and listen to my call, I disagreed with that shot completely.
Yeah. One of those shots, if you were trying to make it, you'd say, if they pull this off, it's an amazing shot.
No, I didn't like the shot at all. I would have thrown the guard there, I think is what I said.
Yeah.
There's too many ways for that to have screwed up, and that was one of them. But, you know, when you call in shots, you think you're invincible, and you're not going to miss them, but you do miss them.
I shot okay.
That's a very nice shot by the executive
but not
team.
much.
And they are sitting shot now. Up 5-3 in the 5th.
Oh, this is actually
And
looking good
This
for
is
the United
the
States
first
right
time
now.
all day the Americans have had the edge. So the
Yeah.
Americans are up on all 3 sheets, and now that I've said that, I'm sure it will all go to crapola.
You're gonna you cursed them. Well, our team is over 500. We got a tie and a win.
Yeah, your team's doing well. You play again today? No.
We're done today. We played yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
we play
then-
tomorrow at 8 a.m. and then like at 2 o'clock, I think.
At Ardsley?
No, it's all here. They gave us all here because we're the host team.
Oh, okay.
Nutmeg at 8 and Nutmeg at 1.
Nice.
The ice was fluky. Interesting ice schedule. So when we first started, they had only pebbled from the hogs through the houses. So it would glide all the way down the center and then just dig in as it went across the hog line.
It's a 3-year registration.
Mississauga sitting on the button on sheet B, and the executive comes through and is going to hit it. I see a jam, though. And there's the jam. Still a really nice shot.
Looks like yellow may be counting. Do the overhead on that.
No, yellow is not counting. Red is shot.
Oh.
Over on sheet A, over on sheet A,
Flash.
we have the South Muskoka team sitting shot, but it's behind a yellow stone that Potomac can run back.
South Muskoka had to go right back out and play. Oh no, they got
they had a
got
break.
one draw. We called them earlier. They had one draw rest and then back on the ice.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Mississauga?
I've never been to Mississauga.
You know where Mississauga is?
No.
Just to the west of Toronto.
Most of these Canadian teams are from Toronto.
It's interesting. Last time I went to Toronto, leaving the airport, and I'm looking to the west, and there's all these big skyscrapers, pretty big tall buildings.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. I knew it wasn't downtown Toronto. Turns out they're all apartment buildings in Mississauga. A whole bunch of them. A little bump there.
So on C, we have the North Halton team trying to run its red back into the Ardsley yellow, and he's a little wide and a little light, and I don't think he's going to get what he was looking for, but he may be shot. So that's going to be close. Let's take a look at that. See who is shot here. Yeah, red is shot. So that was a good play.
Close.
Red is shot.
It looks like red, but they might be measuring it if it's still there at the
They
end.
measure that, it's a waste of time. That's clearly red shot.
Yeah, looking at this overhead camera, I would think you're right.
Over on B, executive team on the button. Mississauga 2 stones behind it. Over on A, the Potomac game continues to be way ahead of the other games. Doesn't look like the clock was ever turned on for this draw.
No, it was not. We actually used the clock on the feed to figure out when they started and added 5 minutes, and somebody went out there and told them what their time would be. So they've got until 4:45, I think, and then they finish whatever end they're in. Yeah, so somebody forgot to hit the clock.
Clock has come into play quite a bit. The last draw, all 3 games, only went 7 ends. So looking for the run back. Boom, boom, boom. Nope.
Got a boom bump instead of a boom boom.
Yeah, not enough. Ardsley is what? Going to try and blast these 2 reds? No.
This is Ardsley McEwen against North Hamilton. Or North Halton. Definitely going for the take.
Yeah, I think it's a down weight chip on the top red, a chip and roll. Down weight.
Actually, now I look at the speed and how they're walking. It's not
Oh, that's
barely
a
going to make
flash.
the house.
Yeah, that's flashing.
I think it's gonna stop.
I don't know what the intention was there, but if it was
Yeah.
a draw to the 4 behind that guard, that was a good play.
It's partially guarded.
If that was his intention.
Trying to decide which they don't think it's close. They don't think it's obvious. They keep looking at it. Sometimes the overhead camera lies. It's a little parallax.
Yellow is shot. You can see it here.
I mean, shot's obvious. Still those other 2.
Yellow is clearly shot. Red is second. Yellow's 3. And they got to come down and hit that one in the back 4. And maybe just bump it back a little bit.
Oh, little bouncy work on sheet B there. Not sure how it actually ended up. So,
Hold on. This is a shot.
okay, this gets done.
This looks really nice on C here. I think he's got this dead on the nose.
Shot.
Yep. Really nice shot.
Take a look at the far B house because you got a little bouncy action, and I think yellow's counting 2 now.
Yellow
Close.
is counting 1.
I think they might be 2.
No, yellow is counting 1.
That front yellow's closer than the back left red.
I do not. It's close, but I don't think so.
Yellow or red?
Well, yellow's definitely 1. Question is which one is 2.
I think it's red is 2.
He thinks it's red. I think it's yellow.
Last
Well,
stone.
if this shot is good, then it won't matter. 3 yellows. They're throwing. Well, they're just throwing a guard, so they.
No, it's not a guard, but it is going to tap that yellow up to second.
Now it's going to be 2 yellow.
Yep. Now it is.
Although the double is there. Pop that front yellow right on the nose, and they both split out.
Can you stay here and finish this draw?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take off after this shot.
I'll stop it, and I will wait just long enough to start to let the next draw.
You know how to put the double.
Yeah, I'll put up. Yeah, I'll put up all 6 houses.
All right. This is going to be the last end for me. I've been here since 8 o'clock this morning. So after this, I'm going to turn it over to Kreger.
I'll finish out this draw.
It's a nice shot by Jeff Broadhurst. Just to get down there. Whoops. And he does.
You do this and you realize when they're doing big sports broadcasts why they have people behind the announcers actually deciding which camera to go to,
Yeah.
switching.
Yeah, I understand that. They also only call 1 game. I've called 4.
Yes. That is quite the busy house on sheet B.
Yeah, and they're incredibly slow. All right, boys, let's throw these last couple shots. So it looks like the executive team with 2 in is going to somehow try and, get a third or just jam that up? How do they get a third?
Is this the hammer?
I don't
Yeah.
think they can.
Even with just 2, they take a commanding lead.
Yeah.
Sweepers coming into view now. They're going to chip the guard. Yeah, they end up with a nice wall up front, protecting their 1 or I think 2. Well, yeah, it's definitely 2.
I don't see any way they get in there.
I don't know. You don't think they could go through 2 ports?
They'd have to hit their own, and
And roll just a little bit.
they don't even have to roll if they hit
Actually,
their
they
own.
could hit and roll off their other one. So, look at it from straight above. You see the situation. They're looking at a hit and roll off their own stone to go in and be counting.
I don't think they can get to their own
But
stone.
it's tough. Let's go back here. You can see the last shot, the hammer on C. Overhead shot for C. Red with the hammer.
Sitting one.
Shot.
So
Trying to chip the yellow out and score 3.
he can chip the yellow out, but he's not. He might score 3.
Yeah, they can score 3.
Yep. He's
There
going
it
to chip
comes.
himself out.
Yes.
He's going to chip himself out and give up
Uh-oh.
2. Give up 1.
Whoops.
Yeah, too heavy.
Certainly 1, and now we'll find out which. See, now they got to measure them.
No,
You think it's red.
I'm certain it's red.
Okay. Well, let's get ready for the shot on far B.
They're not measuring it, are they?
I think they are.
All right, I'm certain it's red. I'm going to stay here for this measure.
Well, they're busy with their measure. We'll stay on chart. We'll stay on sheet B.
Nothing is happening on sheet B.
Oh,
That's
crash.
the end of that. All right.
All right, go back to the three set view. Now everybody's coming this way.
All right, I'm going to, so it was 1 yellow, what was it? It was 1 red, and we're measuring to see if it's, no, it was 1 yellow.
It was 1 yellow. We're measuring to see if it's 2 yellows or just one.
It's just 1 yellow. It's going to be just 1 yellow.
We're going to see what stone they push in here.
If they push in a stone.
They remember to push in a stone. Nice draw on sheet A coming in. Going to bump the guy in the back. We count red's counting 2. Red trying to mount a comeback on A. Darn, I wasn't watching to see which one they pushed the yellow stone off first, which might have implied that was red, like you said.
You got to wait to see what score is.
I'll see what they put up on the board.
All right, Craig, I'm out.
You're done? You're gone?
Thank you for taking over.
I'll spill you for the last little bit here.
And to Nutmeg Nation, all
anybody there?
All 5 of you watching. I've been here since 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm out. And I'll leave it to Craig. Good curling, everybody.
Well, thanks to Mark Sakin for doing yeoman's work all day today on the microphone. I might just have to go back and see what interesting comments he has about shots I made or missed. What's that?
That wasn't nice.
Oh, you weren't? Am I going to learn something? You're going to say, oh, Stefan missed another one? Yeah, okay. All right, over on sheet A, the takeout missed. Left 2 reds. Red will be putting up guards now to protect those 2 points. There's a comeback. See the teams here. Potomac against South Muskaka. GNCC executives about Mississauga. And Ardsley McEwen against North Halton. B, nice draw into the button, but sure what he was trying. They may have been trying. sure what it was trying to do there. It's wide open. That was supposed to be a little bit higher. We're on sheet A. Got a guard coming in. Also on sheet C. Guard. It's going to be a nice biting guard. Going to be counting. Shot. Helps protect the two reds on the back four. Hard to double them out. Takeout on sheet B. It's going to be successful, but it's going to lose the shooter, though. Would have liked to have stayed hidden underneath that yellow guard. Team GNCC executives likely take out the redstone. That looks what the call is. And broom right by the redstone. Be sitting two. GNCC executive team has a 6-3 lead, so they're perfectly happy to trade hits. There is a hit right there. Take that back. That was the other team that was shooting. That was the Mississauga team shooting. So they just took the yellow one out. Now Team GNCC executives is shooting. They're trying to put another one in the house underneath their guard. Okay, I'm confused because it's another redstone. I guess it was the redstone that I saw being taken out. Problem is sometimes curlers walk in front of the stones and you lose track of it. Things are flying around and it wasn't sure who threw it. Hey, they wanted that to be in the house and it ended up a little bit short. Actually, they have the hammer, so they may have wanted a guard to hide behind. A little bit high. Big shot over on sheet A. Trying to break up the middle a little bit. Open up the front some. Sheet C. Had a little. Try to chip one out. Red is still counting. So the Team GNCC executives is going to have one right in the top four. Looks up just into the, just bite the top eight. See, call us to come down and freeze on the redstone. Looks like this is going to need to sweep a little bit. It's heavy enough. It's not curling, so this is going to. They're trying to chip the red out, not sit on it with that weight. They might accomplish that task. Oh, they just missed. Just didn't curl enough. Pretty sure that red got two over on sheet A. South Muskoka. Sheet C. Team North Halton was trying to bring a draw in underneath the guards. They came a little bit narrow and ended up crashing on the front guard. So now the RC McEwen team going to try the same shot, draw it underneath the guards. Take that back. They're going the other way, and they're going to come come down and bump the red on the right side. Stone's on its way. Needs to curl quite a bit. Don't know if it's going to curl enough to chip the red out. I think he may have just missed again and a little bit heavy, a little narrow. And it's going to just sneak through and say, hello, Redstone. Goodbye. Sagwa team just drew one in underneath the guards, but it's just behind a T line, so GNC executives are going to try to draw down to it. In behind the guards and hopefully out counting the back red. They'll take a freeze on the back red. Team South Muskoka did get two on sheet A. So that game's tightened up a bit. It's now 5-4. Nicely done on sheet B. Curling in, and it's going to be counting. Only slightly buried. Like half buried. Take a look at near B. You can see that it is clearly counting, touching the button. But if you look out front, you see the guard is only kind of covering half of the stone, so they're going to be able to try to chip it out. Here on sheet A, I'm sorry, sheet C. Call is to, I believe, is still to try to chip the back red out. It's far. Got him coming in. Oh, and they caught the high guard. Let's go back to our 3-sheet view. So they have decided to try to go get that yellow stone on sheet B. Is now the problem with trying to chip it out is it's going to jam. So let's see here what the call is. See where he puts the broom. Call on C appears to be to lug up the hole. And it's a little heavy, so or drawing underneath the guards. So they've got the shot to draw under the guards. It's coming in right through the port, past one guard and another guard, and right in behind undercover. Nicely done. Beautiful shot for Team North Halton. So North Halton right now is counting 2, trying to get back into this game on sheet C. Trying to recover some points. Oh, nice shot on sheet B. Team GNCC executives are now sitting 2. Team Mississauga missed their attempt to chip the red out. They just sat another one. Now the problem is with this is that well, they could hit it, but they're going to jam. So they're going to have to try to come across the face, push both yellow stones back, and leave their red stone counting. On sheet B, let's go to a near B from the top. See if we forgot what they're up to here. Oh, I'm sorry, not near B. I want near C. Near C. 4 foot. Looks like they're going to kind of curl in and bump that red one back. So they'll probably be throwing back house to hack weight. Just curl just enough. Bump the red out and please stay behind to be counting. Okay. Near B, shot coming in, and they crashed on the guard. Pushed another yellow in, but it won't be counting. C. Stay with near C with the shot coming down. Shot's released. Going to start curling here. I got to stay on it. All depends on the weight with this shot. Sweeping hard. May crash on the guard. I think, yep, they're on the guard. A bit narrow. So red is still counting 2 on sheet C. Sheet B. Yellow's counting 2. But yellow's shot, so they're calling for the guard out front to protect those two. Hack, so we'll stay with this overhead view on near B so you can see if they pull off the guard. Coming out of the hack. Stone's on its way. Sweepers are just walking along with it. They think it's a little bit hot. Okay, now they're on it. They're trying to keep it from curling, but they're going to come right into the house with this. They may very well be. Oh, it's digging in. Could be a good shot. It's going to slightly over curl though. Be in the 8 foot when it's done moving. But it over curled, so it left the yellows exposed. Okay, let's switch back to near C. Now red is going to try that same shot to come down to their own stone, and really they're probably just plugging the hole up here. They don't want to come all the way down to it. Freezing on it would work, but plugging the hole up is an easier shot. Get in and block that port. It looks like it's going to over curl though. I don't think they're going to block it. It's going to run into the yellow and maybe bump it in. It's not going to bump it in, but they're not plugging the hole. So that was a missed opportunity there. Red has the same shot they just tried. See if they can pull it off this time. Need to throw a little bit wider, or throw a tiny bit more weight to get through the port and chip the red one out. In the house discussing it. We'll see what shot gets off first here. All right, we're going to do near B because their shot is on its will be on its way shortly. Trying to come inside and just bump the yellows back, and it's a tough shot, but they could end up being counting and certainly counting them down. Sweepers are on it to try to get a little more curl. It's gliding in nicely. Not going to have enough energy to get rid of the 2 yellows. It's going to just bump them. They all pile on top of each other. And they end up giving up 2 yellows. Okay, so that means that. Let's go over to near C here. But Team GNCC executives now will, I believe, go up 8-3. On sheet C, we've got the attempt to bump the red one back out coming in. Looking pretty good, but it's not going to have enough weight. It's going to just bump it. I don't think it's going to have enough to get rid of it. Oh, and it's close, but it looks like needed a couple more French fries. And it ends up with red counting 1. And actually the yellow for the hammer is vulnerable, so they chip the yellow one out, they could score 3. So could be a little bit of a comeback here on sheet C. Let's take a look at the far houses, because I haven't been paying any attention to sheet A, which is actually a pretty close game now. Deep in. Okay, this is the last shot without the hammer, I believe. Confirm that. Yellow. Red has the hammer. Nope, yellow has the hammer. And they just did a nice takeout. So yellow is sitting 1. Fortunately, we don't have an overhead camera on House A on the scoreboard end. Back to near C. Shot to score 3 by chipping the yellow, biting the 4-foot out. Plenty of weight. They're definitely going to get contact. Boom. And but they unfortunately chipped one of the reds out, but they got 2 reds. Okay, so a little bit of a comeback on sheet C. Team North Halton making the game a little closer. Guess is time is it? They're going to get one more in. They're going to get one more end in, so they'll get the 7th in, but then that'll be it. All right, over on sheet A, red team took out the Yellowstone, and one shot left actually, so yellow has the hammer. Potomac team, they have a straightforward hit for 2. Sheet B, they're going to come in and it's going to put a big mess of stones out front. Somebody's going to be able to hide behind all those guards. All right, sheet A, hitting for 2 to take a 7-4 lead. Stones on its way. Sweepers are just walking with it. It must be drifting out a little bit. And they're going to get rid of the red, but they are going to spill, so they're only going to get one yellow. So they'll take a 6-4 lead. Sheet B, yet another guard coming in. We have quite the mess on sheet B, but it's all mostly on one side of the sheet. Still open draws to the other side. Sheet B is going to red team's Canadian team is going to just try to take advantage of that left open side and draw one in underneath that whole plethora of guards. It needs to curl some to get buried. It's got the weight. They're sweeping to stay off the guard. Now they're trying to bring it in. It's curling, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Well, it's certainly the counting rock. It's the only rock in the house, but it is visible. Big takeout over on sheet B, trying to hit the red one that didn't get buried, but they're going to hit the front guard. Doink. So that actually puts more stones over on the right side, leaves the red stone in the house completely exposed, so they'll probably bump it back or guard it. Red, how many stones do they have left? So it's not clear if they're going to get the 8th in on sheet B in or not. Shots underway on sheet B, and I believe it's a promote, but they could also be just drawing around. Looks of how wide it is, that's the only thing they've got now. They're sweeping it. It's past. Now it's going to bury behind. That's a decent shot. Didn't completely bury, but it buried enough to make it hard to get rid of. So they're going to go for the double and try to run the front one back and take both reds out. Team Mississauga has the, Team GNCC has the advantage of a big lead, so they can just get rid of red stones. Well, they're certainly getting the front one. They're not getting the double. They're getting a peel. Oh, they missed the front one, but got the back one. Sheet C, they're just trying to throw a draw in underneath the left guard. I think they might have slightly overthrown it. They're going to get a little bump action. Didn't curl enough. Actually turns out to work and leaves them counting, but quite exposed. Call is immediately to take the yellow stone out. We're on sheet B. They're trying to bump the red up, and it's looking pretty good actually. Gonna split. The one red stone will definitely be counting, and it's very nicely behind the guard, so that turned out to be a good shot. So red took out the yellow stone that was counting on C. So yellow team, the GNCC team, is going to return the favor and take out the red. At least that's the call. Looks like he's a little wide, so this might flash on him. Yeah, he's got that I don't like it look for the thrower. Slide out. So it's going to be a flash. Okay, so red is slowly crawling back into this game on C. Sheet B, they came up a little short. Red is still counting one. So the Canadians are mounting comebacks on all three sheets, but they are down by a bit, so not clear they can pull it off. Sheet C looking to put another red in the house and be counting three. Right now it's 7-3, so they do have one in left. Over on sheet A, there's actually a takeout on its way. One stone is gone. Okay. The shot on sheet C came up short, but that's a guard. That may have actually been a car. I didn't see what they, because that does protect a little bit, but it didn't come over enough, so it kind of left it exposed. Left the center red one exposed, and they're going to go after it. Sheet B got another takeout on its way. Going to try to chip the yellow out and roll underneath all the guards. Sweepers are hanging around with it. They needed to let it curl. Now they're sweeping hard. Looking like a good shot, but there may not get much roll. Yeah, little roll, but not enough to bury it. There's a big takeout on sheet C. Boom. Oh, a little bit too much of an angle, so they only got one. The yellow is counting 2 and 3 and fairly buried on sheet C. So there could be okay, because yellow does have the hammer. On sheet A, the Canadian team is down 2, but they have the hammer. And there was a pretty big flash there. So right now, the Canadians are looking promising. Sheet B, trying to put a guard and put a high guard. Does protect the 1 point on the button. See, nice takeout. They wanted the roll. They didn't get the roll. Took the red stone out. And now they're going to have the tables turned on them. Red will turn right around and take out the yellow stone. See if they can get a little roll. Shot on seat C is on its way. Going to try to go through the port and come down and just bump the red back. Be counting. Hey, it looks a little light to me. The sweepers are on it pretty hard, and yeah, they're going to crash on the guard. So, oh, they made it. They made it just barely. They're sweeping hard. They're not going to make it all the way to the red. So, good sweep though to get around the guard, but just needed a little more weight. Takeout on sheet B is on its way. Okay, we are going to switch over and watch the sheet A game here because that is in the 8th inning and is the closest game. So let's look at near A. Second to find A because there it is. Camera. So right now it looks like red is certainly counting 1, could be counting 2. And red needs to score 2 to tie it up, get the tie in the game. Potomac Stone, yellow, is on its way, trying to come down and freeze on the back red, looks like, but he's going to be a little bit toasty, and it's going to make contact, and that's okay. Yellow is certainly number 1, but they are exposed. Let's switch back over, check out this shot on B, and they missed. Okay, so the hit and roll off the red stone was a little bit narrow and went through the back. So red is set in 3. So things are kind of getting a little more interesting on B, although they've got an 8-3 lead. So, and this is the hammer. So they can close it up quite a bit. If they get 4 here, it would be 8-7. So all 3 games are kind of getting a little more interesting. Okay, so we're going to switch over to sheet A because we got a shot coming in, trying to chip that yellow one out and be counting 3, I believe. Lots of heat. They need to come across the nose just a tiny bit. They're going to be a little bit too much. Oh, that actually worked. Beautiful shot. And now red is counting 3, all kind of behind guards. They do have, yellow has places to go. They can come and hide underneath the guards and be buried in counting. Okay, let's see what just happened over there. Oh, and they're shaking on sheet B. Okay, so red took a 2 or 3, but they decided not to play. Last in. So I'll wait and see if they put up the score. Okay, so sheet A, we have the Skip's first stone. Red at the hammer. So Skip's first stone without the hammer. Stone's on its way, and he's trying to kind of come in and nestle in amongst all those reds and be counting but guarded. Take a quick look over here on sheet C. We got a back and see that the red, yellow stone bumped on it and ends up in the back of the house, and red is still counting 3. So, oh boy. Yeah, red does have the hammer. Definitely getting interesting on C. I mean on A. All right, I've got a shot coming in on A. So let's go back over there and watch the shot come in. Looking to put this in the top 8, I believe, and protect. Oh. And it's going to slide in a little bit, but it's going to be right on the button. Okay. Biting the top of the button. Go over here to sheet C, and you can see the draw coming around the right side coming in. It's a little bit toasty. They're going to sweep it back some, but they're going to get rid of it. No, it can't. Nope, it's going to be a biter. But it's out counted by yellow on the left side, so. I believe they ran out of time on sheet B. That's why they didn't play the 8th in. So things are getting a little tense for yellow team, Potomac on sheet A. They're staring at 4 reds right now. So they gotta hit that red one out and roll a little bit to go under the guards to have a chance of hanging on. They need to make the next shot, the hammer. They have to make it difficult for team South Muskoka. 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 I'm going to stay with this overhead shot of sheet A because the shot is on its way. Switch back over for the hammer on sheet C, which is about to be thrown, but as of less consequence. The game is not as close. All right, so sweepers are just hanging around with it. Here it comes. It's going to hit the red and move over. Nicely done shot. Yeah, so only partially buried, but it is counting. And let's take a quick look on C here. And whoops, it ended up sliding out and missing. Okay, so I believe they're done on sheet C. Yep, so we are now going to shift over to the very last shot of this draw. Okay. So the Ardsley team gets a good win on C. Sure what the final score was because I'm not sure what the final score in this end. They're still counting things. Okay, so on sheet A, South Muskoka has a chance to chip the yellow out for a big score, but it is fairly well guarded. They just need to chip. They only need to move it about 2 foot to get a 3 and maybe a 4. So there will be another draw in approximately 10 minutes. I will stop the current draw and then start up the stream for the next one, although I'm not going to be able to stay around. So I'll get everything started, I'll call out all the teams, and then just leave the stream going with the 6-house view. Okay, so they're all set on sheet A for the last shot. Still doing a little talk about how to pull this off. Switch over and watch him come out of the house. Switch back here. You see the broom set up for the skip. Again, he's going to try to come over and just bump the yellow. Only needs to move it a couple feet to get at least 3. All right, so he's in the hack. Sweepers are ready. Interesting style of both sweepers on the same side. There he comes. Shot's on its way. And we'll flip back over to the top view. Okay, the sweepers are off, so they think it needs to curl some. It's got a lot of weight, actually. This is a little problematic. I think it's just going to go right through and chip out a red. And 1 yellow. All right. Okay, so that means Team Potomac is going to end up winning 7-4. They cleaned the scoreboard off on C, so I don't know what the final score was, but I know that it was RC McEwen. And that is it for the 2:45, which really started a round 3 draw. The 5 p.m. draw will start in approximately 10 minutes. So we'll only be a little bit behind. 5 p.m. draw will feature team from Rochester Curling Club versus Team Donalda. All right, let me go ahead and stop the stream and then restart it.